Alright, so for this video, I'll teach you how to create your composition and how to import your assets. So to create the composition, actually you can do it in two ways. First, you can go to new composition here, the button here, or you can go to composition, new composition. Once you click new composition, it opens the composition settings, and here you can edit a lot of settings. So first, composition name. So let's say exercise 01. Then within height, so this is the aspect ratio of your video. So usually what we use is 1920 by 1080. So that's full HD. And then you can lock in the aspect ratio so that if you change the width, it also changes the height. Next, pixel aspect ratio, just use square pixels. And then frame rate, since we're in animation, we'll be using 24 frames per second. Alright, so for this part, you can also set the start time code and the duration. Alright, so what you see are numbers. On the most right, you'll see frames. So if I type in 24, it automatically changes to seconds. So this is seconds. If I type in 60, it changes to minutes. So this is minutes. If I change 60, it times to hours. Alright, so recap. This is frames, seconds, minutes, hours. Alright? So for start time code, I always start with 0. So I'll just type in 0:00:00:00:00. Next would be the duration. So the duration depends on your project. So for this demo, I'll just make a 15-second composition. So what I'll do is I'll change the second value from the right to 15. Again, recap: frames, seconds, minutes, hours. So this is seconds. So 0:00:15:00. And then the background color, you can change it just by clicking on it and then choosing the color using this color gradient here. So let's say I'll choose a color of pink. And then press OK. And then once you're done, you just click on OK. Alright, so now that we have our composition, as you can see, it already created a timeline for that. So in the timeline, you'll see this blue line here. It's called the scrubber. So the reason why it's called the scrubber, once you scrub it, it plays the animation. The scrubber also indicates where the keyframes are created. So to know where you are in the timeline, let's say the scrubber is placed here, you'll see it here, meaning this is 1 second. Alright, next, remember our project tab. So the project tab, since the composition is also an element or an asset in After Effects, it's also placed in our project. Now, how do we import files outside of After Effects so that we could animate them? So, first, what you can do is go to File, Import, File, or double-click on the empty space of the Project tab, and it will open the import browser for you. So just locate the files that you want to import. For example, an image, click on it, and then click on Import. And then you'll see it here. You can also import other acceptable files, which is listed here. Okay. You can also import a sequence in After Effects. To do that, double-click again on the Project tab, locate where you saved your PNG sequence or your image sequences, and then all you have to do is click on the first drawing and make sure that PNG sequence is checked. What it does is it will import the images in a sequence and create an animation for it. So click on Import, and once it's done, it will be saved in your project tab as pencil 0000-0200, meaning start drawing until end drawing. So After Effects combines the images for you. So now, so how do we convert assets into layers? All you have to do is click on the asset in the project tab and drag it on the timeline. And it becomes an image. And you'll see it now in the composition. Let's do that again for the drawings. So click and drag. There. And then scrubber, scrub, it becomes animated. Also in After Effects, you can import project files from other Adobe software. So for example, I have an Illustrator file here, and I want to import it. All you have to do is click on it, click on Import, and it will open an option for you. You can choose footage if you want to just choose a layer that you want to import. But if you want to import everything, you can go to Composition and always choose Layer Size. Then click on OK, and then After Effects will create the composition for you based on the size of your Illustrator file or your Photoshop file. If you double-click here, it opens a composition at the bottom, and everything is layered based on how you layered it in Illustrator or Photoshop. Alright, so here are some keyboard shortcuts for you. If you want to zoom in and out of your composition, Control plus minus to zoom out, Control plus plus to zoom in. Or simply scroll up or scroll down your mouse wheel. In the timeline, you can also zoom in and out of it as well. If you press plus on your keyboard, it zooms in per frame. And if you press minus, it zooms out until the total running time. And that's it for creating compositions and importing assets. Click on the next slide if you're ready to go to the next lesson.